There we go. There we go.
There we go. All action. That's what we do. All action all the time. How it is. Hang on, let me just get a bit of an increase in volume at my end so I can get you loud and clear. I'm on maximum already. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh,
All right.
maybe I have to shout. Speak up.
That's okay. It's okay. I can hear you. All right. Here we are. It's been a while, but here we are back again.
Yes, sorry.
Happiness is easy.
Happiness is easy. It wasn't last week because I either had flu or COVID. I didn't test for which one it was. But so sorry, we missed a week. But yeah. But the week before, you had said something really interesting, and I was really looking forward to it to talk about fear.
Absolutely. Fear. We've got to get into it. It gets hold of everybody sooner or later. Can't run from it. It's gonna get you.
Yeah. Do you think there are people who don't feel fear?
There are people who don't feel fear, they're liars. Or,
Or psychopath?
right, yeah. They're liars, very good actors, psychopaths, or there's something very wrong. Because if you don't feel fear, then there are other emotions you're not feeling.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's that. And also, if you don't feel fear, you can end up in danger.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why there's fear built into us. Sometimes, it's irrational, but if you look back far enough, you can see why it's inbuilt into us in the first place.
Yep,
Oh, look,
absolutely.
there's a fire right there. Don't touch it.
Be afraid of it. Exactly.
I feel no fear. That's why my genes were never passed on because I died.
Exactly. So I thought we could think about fear, friend or foe. You've got to forgive me for being cheesy today because this morning I was watching Alan Partridge on the TV and his rubbish TV shows where he says cheesy things all the time. It's probably something. So yeah,
Ah, well, hey, I mean, on slightly digression, Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa. Have you seen that one?
yeah.
I've never been a great Alan Partridge admirer, but that film is next level. That film is next level. And if you want to talk about fear, that's a man, that's a character who faced fear head on, challenged it, came out laughing the other side.
Well, I've just been trying to watch more comedy because I've been listening to too much politics. And at the moment, it's just so depressing that I just thought, right, having a politics break.
Uh, well, I did the opposite of you. I was going like, hey, I've been having a politics break. It's time I dip my toe back in to get in touch with the universe, get in touch with the world, know what's going on. So I can start feeling things, because it's very easy to be in your own bubble. So what did I do? Started watching the news. Look at the newspapers. I thought that was a mistake. That was a terrible idea. I can feel the misery washing over me, and I can't shake it off.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
um, I mean, my thought was, do you remember the Fast Show?
Yeah,
Do you remember there was this sketch where these people, this old couple are painting, and they're painting in this lovely scene, and then the guy suddenly starts going, "Ah, it's nice. I'm painting this lovely scene. What it needs is some more grey, more black." And he just starts painting it all, and then he kicks off. And then his wife tries to hold him like, going, "It's all right, it's all right." That's how I feel. I was having sunshine. I was seeing green pastures. Life was good. I turned on the news. It's all gone
and
terrible
it's
again.
yeah. Now that does make me fearful. When that's why I've
Mm.
just needed a break from the fear because it's not good for you to feel fear all the time, is it? Because it's
No,
good for you because it can give you focus and it can give you meaning and it can make you take action. But at the same time, it can depress you and make you feel terrible, which is why you kind of got to manage it, isn't it?
absolutely. And also, the body is not designed to be in that fear mode all the time.
No.
The body's designed to go like, oh, fear, a quick shot of adrenaline. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Other theme tunes are available. And then it's supposed to dissipate. But being in that state for a long period of time, all the chemicals that are released by the body for fear have short-term benefits, but long-term
They're
not
not good
good.
for you. No, all that, it's loads of cortisol from the chronic stress mixed with the adrenaline, and
Mm,
it will give you fatigue, anxiety. It makes you hang on to weight. It can actually make you fat.
mm.
It will damage your sleep. It will give you reduce your creativity, your empathy, and most importantly, probably your joy. It gets
Mm.
sucked out like a what those think dementias in Harry Potter. They just come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They just come and steal it all. And uh, it, like this week, for example, I mean, this won't go out this week, but in this week in politics, the Conservative, one of the Conservative MPs who's quite senior and probably a contender for the leadership, came out and said that in Birmingham, he was complaining that in 2 hours or something, he hadn't seen any white faces.
Yeah, that's Robert Jenrick. He went to Handsworth,
Yeah,
which is,
generally, that's it.
you know, 62%, Asian, you know. So you could get it. It's very easy to get into the reasons why that particular, why particular areas have like a high non-white population. You could very easily go like, okay, there's employment opportunities, landlords controlling rents and not renting to particular people. There's a whole heap of reasons. But then when they never go to these people such as Robert Jenrick. He never goes to places like Redcar and goes like where it's like 96% white and go like, oh, you know what, this place could do with a few more black people.
That
They
is
never do that, do
exactly
they?
it. That is exactly it. He doesn't go
They
to
never
an
do that.
area where there's majority white and complain that I've been here for an hour and a half and I haven't seen any brown or black faces. He doesn't say that. So he's saying that the right thing is to see white faces and something's wrong if that's not what he's seeing.
Yeah.
And that
So
that make fills me with a sense of fear that this guy might be a serious leader in this country.
yeah, I mean, I haven't looked into this guy, right? But what is it betting that somewhere along the line he's done like a history of a history degree, so he's actually knows that about the multicultural history of Great Britain, studied it and then decided to go, you know what, that doesn't serve my political purposes right now.
Yeah, but even if he hasn't done a history degree, there's no real excuse for not knowing it, is there? I
No,
mean,
but there was no excuse. So things like the contribution of India to the war,
yeah,
the Second World War, is greater than like Canada, Australia, a lot of other places combined, and that isn't shouted about. You know, it's deliberate. These things are deliberately kept away, so that the general public, the people who were doing their 0 hours contracts and are completely knackered and just get all their information from the news, don't see black and brown faces as being contributors to their comfort.
yeah. But I don't see how they can miss that. If you go to the
Yeah.
hospital, I mean, you go, how can you walk around and sort of have that view? But Robert Jenrick, I think he's dog whistling to the people
Mm,
who don't really think very hard,
mm.
who are anyway,
But
that makes me afraid. So I've had to take a break from it again. It
yeah,
won't be
yeah,
for long. It won't be for long because what I get frustrated with is one of the good sides of fear. And I do have a book.
Hey, we have a book, which is
The Positive Power of Negative Emotions by Dr. Tim Lomas, who is a positive psychologist. Because fear can have an upside, because actually when you hear awful politics going on like that, I thought really my reaction should be to fight harder in politics against it. You know, I should be motivated by it rather than think, oh God. But it was the reason you and I started talking about fear was I was talking about procrastinating or shutting down or something like that. And you said, oh, that might be because of fear, being afraid. And
yeah,
so it sort of, it can have positive or negative, can't it?
yeah.
But it should be, I mean, if it works well, it should be motivating to go out there and say, no, why
But
should there be a majority of white faces in Birmingham? Why should there be?
the thing with the fear is that it's like you have to. One of the hardest things is to actually recognize what you're going through, because you know the stages are, oh, I'm fearful, panic, and it's very hard to then step back and go like, okay, what's triggering me?
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
takes a lot of work, and a
Yeah,
lot of people don't do the work. It's a
yeah,
case like, oh, I've panicked, I've been triggered, okay, and I'll get triggered again. I don't do the necessary work to work out, okay, what's triggering me? It's just that I've just been triggered, and that's all that matters.
yeah. You
I'm
don't.
angry and frustrated, I've been triggered. Right, okay. So what's next? What is the next step?
Well,
And this.
you're hitting the nail on the head there. I've got a cheesy line for this. You got to name it to tame it.
Oh, oh, that is t-shirt worthy. That's on a mug. I'm seeing it now. You've got to name it to tame it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
because you label the fear, it activates the prefrontal cortex, and it reduces your amygdala activity. You're going to calm down, and then you're going to think how to react. So you are so spot on with, you've got to recognize it and do the work.
You see what you've done there? You've given people the complicated version and the simplified version, so people can take any style they like.
Yeah,
Name it to tame it. Simple. And then there's the complicated one, because some people are going to go like, oh, yes, prefrontal cortex. Yes, yes, yes. And some people are just going to go, it's too early in the morning for that. Name it to tame it. Let's go.
that is the easy version. Well, that's what it is. It's name it to tame it. Yeah, which is what you were saying. So I'm just agreeing with you.
Hey, there we go.
Have you got
Fantastic.
any tactics for what you do when you sort of go, I've just been triggered?
Okay, tactics. Well, we've named it for starters, right? But if we're talking about instantaneous ones, the first easiest tactic.
Sorry.
The first easiest tactic, take a deep breath. You've got to get oxygen into your lungs. And the mere act of taking a deep breath will regulate your breathing. Because when you're in panic mode, what are you doing? Hyperventilating. That's not helping you. But helping you focus, think clearly. You take that deep breath. That's stage one.
Yeah.
And then with that clearer thought, you can assess what is actually the issue. Because the same response can have different triggers. Because if you're feeling fear, you're going to get the hyperventilation, you're going to get the skin crawling, you get all those things. But they could all come from different things. It could be a spider. It could be, a car's nearly swerved into you. It could be politics. You get the same reaction, but from different stimuli.
Yeah. So a good question to ask yourself is, what is this fear protecting? What is it trying to protect me from? Rather than just go with that feeling that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And kind of go, I don't like this.
and what is that fear? Right at the moment, I think it's when they do that list of things that people are frightened of, number one is change, right? That's always really top of the list. And that comes under, death. Death is number two. Number one is change.
Is it?
Number three is moving house.
Well, that's change, isn't it?
That's which is change again. Yeah. So so change. Oh my gosh. There are people in my street who don't look the same as me. Oh my gosh. This area is changing. Oh, there's different cars in this street. Oh my gosh. There's different shops on this street. Oh my gosh. There's different restaurants on this street. Oh, do you know what? I'm really scared. I think, but I will nip into these new shops. Do you know what? They've got different names, but it's the same stuff. It's still garlic. It's still peppers. It's still potatoes. They just call it something else. Do you know what? These new shops, some of these restaurants, I'll go in there. Do you know what? I kind of like this stuff. You know, it's like just some of this stuff is like the curry I've always had.
So with the change thing, people are afraid that there's going to be a threat to, because they feel safe to start with. And if something's going to change, they might not feel safe. What do you think that's what the problem is?
Absolutely. I mean, if the number one issue, the number one fear is fear of change, then they feel secure and safe in the status quo. But then to progress in anything, you have to, embrace change.
Should keep moving. Yeah.
Absolutely. So the thing is, people like where do you draw the line? It's like, okay, we like everything as it was, right? So these vaccines, right? And modern medicines, right? And spices, right? All these things, clothes, yeah. Glasses, yeah. Right? Somewhere along the line, there was change. Like, people do a lot of squinting, and there's this thing called glass. And if we actually put them in frames, we can put them on people's faces, and they'll be able to see better. You know what? That's change. But let's just walk around and walk into walls and stuff. Oh, walls! Somebody invented them once upon a time. We were in caves, and they were getting a bit overcrowded. We've got this great idea. If we mix cement together and stuff like that, and we can build stuff. That's a change. Ooh.
Always changed. You are right. And actually, this whole AI debate that's going on at the moment, I kind of take that view with that. I think we've got to make the change in the right way. But some people are treating that with fear and trepidation. And I sort of kind of, a bit like all the examples that you're giving, it's like, this is happening. So, but but once again, people are right to have fears because it could be misused and it could rip off people and artists and writers. And so those dangers all exist. So that fear is sort of helpful because then we can take measures to try and deal with those.
Absolutely. But then there's the same principles we mentioned earlier still apply, which is, right, as fear, I have a reaction. I have a visceral reaction. My skin is crawling. I'm hyperventilating. Take a deep breath. Then, okay, name it to tame it. What am I actually scared about? Okay, I'm scared of change. Okay, what was so good about the status quo then? There's change coming. What was so great about the status quo? The status quo is, well, I'm actually comfortable doing the thing that I've always been doing. Right. Okay. I've been doing a particular job in a particular way. I've been very comfortable in that. Oh, well. That's life. Things are going to move. So the quicker you get on, the quicker you're knowledgeable about something, the more you can complain and help shape the direction of it.
Yeah. So that comes back to what you said, spotting that you're what your fear is, and then thinking, oh, and I'm reacting this way. Then you can start to calm down your breathing tactic. And then something I do, which I did relearn from a book actually, but I can't remember which one, and it was on my Kindle, so I can't even show it to you, was to take tiny weeny steps, like to think, oh, this is going to be a big journey, that's too scary, but you can do something really small, like micro small. It's like you can do something as stupid as, I don't know, think if you've got a big new thing that you've got to do, get a notebook or open a file, and then you've started it.
Yeah, so it's that like change by an inch is a cinch, by a yard is hard. That one, isn't it?
Yeah, baby steps, small increments, and that builds confidence in the brain. Oh, I do have a book for that. I've got Wiring Your Brain for Confidence.
Wow. Okay, who's that by? 2 books in 1 episode. We're on a roll here.
We're back to the old days. Oh, I can't find it. I can't remember who it's by. I think I might have given it to my daughter.
Or did you give it to her, or did she just purloin it?
She might have just taken it.
You know, on a side note, when that thing is, you go around your friends or your kids' houses and you see your books on their bookcase, you're just like, how did I get there? Oh, you know, just kind of magics itself. I've been looking for that.
Yeah, when I visit my daughters at university, and their bookshelves look all really impressive with like cool intellectual books and stuff. And yeah, they've nicked them from my office. They just come around choosing things, and they just go in the bag.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's this book called European Tribe by Carol Phillips. I've bought the book 4 times because I've bought the book why I bought it 4 times. I bought it. I thought, like, oh, this is a fantastic book, right? Really impactful, really insightful. And then I thought I've lost it. I go, it's so important to me. I'll buy it again, right? Only to discover it's at somebody's house, right? Then, okay, you've got it, right? I've got my own copy. And then I go back to my own house, and then it's disappeared. And then you go like, right, have I not? Then you get to the stage, you're like, did I imagine that I bought it in the first place? I've never had it.
Tell me about this book. This sounds interesting. What is it about?
Right. Basically, this is a book that it was the first book that I'd read that really touched on my thoughts of being a Black British person. And basically, it's this author called Carol Phillips, with a Y, Caryl. And all he did, he went interrailing, right, as a Black British guy, and he just went around Europe, and he just wrote down what happened to him. It's as simple as that. It's quite simple. He just goes like, okay, went to Spain, went to Romania, so what happened to him? And the reactions of like him being a Black person from Britain, going to places, sometimes meeting Black people in other countries, Black Europeans. This book's called European Tribe, and it's not a thick book. It's really simple, and it had a fantastic impact on me because it's the first book that I'd actually read that I saw some go like, oh, you're just like me. It wasn't a book that's going like, oh, we've got full of tropes.
Yeah.
All that sort of thing. That was great. So, yeah, I highly recommend it.
I'll have to look that up.
So, yeah. Great author.
There's somebody who makes this thing where you can put a tag and like a stamp on all your books, and it says from the library of, and puts your name, so that if you do people, you still got this belongs to me. I haven't got one.
Dear, oh dear. It's on the Christmas list.
Yeah, but oh, that's interesting. I will look that up. Phillips with a Y, you said.
Yes.
Right, okay. European tribe. Just gonna write that down. Uh, so have you got a copy now?
I have a copy now. I do have a copy.
Even though now you bought it 4 or 5 times.
Absolutely. It's under lock and key. It's in a special place. No one's getting it.
Brilliant.
And in terms of fear,
Yeah.
tying that book to fear, you know, he did have a trepidation of like, okay, I'm going to go to places that I've never been before, and I don't know what the reaction is going to be like. So remember, he's coming from, you know, he's a Black British guy, and with all that entails, you know, there's the positives and the negatives, and then he's going to places where he doesn't know what the reaction to him is going to be like, you know, as a Black person traveling in Europe by himself.
And is it generally good or not? Is it mixed or?
It's mixed. It is mixed, but as I say, it's the first. I mean, it changed my life as a writer. I think before that, I wasn't actually, I don't know, what you call a dedicated person to the craft of writing. I never thought, oh, it's something that I could actually do. It's like, oh, I did it for myself. You know, kept diaries, etc. I put my thoughts on paper, but I read that and it was like, oh, actually, there are other people who feel like I feel. I'm not just by myself. There's other people who are doing similar things to me, and they put the words down, and it's in print. And the fact that it's in print means that it's going to last for a very long time and can connect with others. So yeah.
That's really great, yeah, because that's one of the really important things about writing. I think it's in another Alan Bennett story. It says that you think you're the only person who's had this feeling, and then you read something in a book and you think, oh my God, I'm not the only one. Someone else has had the same experience and felt the same things. And there's something really comforting about that. Maybe that can reduce fear as well as help build confidence.
There you go. I think we've cracked it. Yet again, we have cracked it. So people reduce fear, read more. Read more, because
we always seem to come to this conclusion. Just read more.
We always come to this conclusion. You know, we always come to this conclusion. Wow, if the people just read more, everything would be better. You know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, how do you get to think differently? How do you get to cope with change without actually going through it physically? Oh, you can walk in somebody else's shoes by accessing their thoughts through the words that they've written that are in print.
Yeah. And as far as your brain is concerned, you are going through that experience with them. So you're living more lives. It's like Matt Haig's Midnight Library, that you can have all these lives through books. So it does give you more empathy. And
absolutely.
It's bound to create more courage as well, isn't it? From knowing that other people can do these things.
You know, let's take a second. Let's just take a second to pause, because we're geniuses. Because every week we crack major codes. We crack major codes. There we go. All this nonsense going on. You know, people being fearful. Just increase funding the libraries. Boom, done.
Oh,
read more. There we go.
We really do need to fund libraries. Maybe that is going to be my act of resistance. Maybe I should help my local library more.
Maybe. That's it. So you feel fear. You've done the deep breathing. You've named it to tame it, but you still feel a sense of powerlessness. So then you tell what we're going to do. Teeny weeny steps, baby steps. What is your first act of resistance? Because you named it to tame it. First act of resistance, in this particular case, down the library. Hey, it's where it all starts. the fight back.
Yeah. Well, Alistair Campbell wrote this book called What Can I Do? And he was trying to write it to encourage people into politics, but politics doesn't have to be being an MP or even a councillor or anything. You can be political by helping your community to improve in some way, or you know, if you make books available to people, that is actually a big act of resistance. Look at what lots of governments who are trying to oppress people do. They ban books, they burn them, they take them away. They don't want people reading books.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't want people. You know, that's a sure sign. It's a sure sign that, you know, you're on the wrong path. You're like, as soon as you start burning and banning books, so you start doing that, it's like, got some shadiness going on.
Big time, yeah. But it's like Donald Trump said once in one of his rallies, I love the poorly educated people. I love the poorly educated. And I thought, yeah, and you're trying to make sure all of them are. Because then it's easier to manipulate them, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, closing libraries, not good. So I'm going to do that as a micro step in my act of resistance to deal with my fear of what this country could become. There you go.
There we go. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, that is.
So fear isn't the opposite of happiness. It's part of our emotional range. But what we've got to do is know how to respond to it. And we've been through all the steps.
There we go. That's it. That's it. I think that's another. We've done it again. We're on a roll. We have done it again. How do we do it? It's like magic. It's like magic. We're giving people the intense breakdown of how to analyze and change their lives. In a nugget, in a small form that they can take away. They can go deep with the prefrontal cortex and all that stuff, or they can just go name it to tame it.
Actually, it's easier to stick with the short one, isn't it? Because you can remember that.
Absolutely. That's it. In fact, the title of this episode is going to be Name It to Tame It.
Name It to Tame It, indeed. So what are we going to talk about next time? Now that we've got rid of fear, we've thought about micro steps. Where do we go from here? Do we look at...
I don't know. Have you got any particular ideas, Nicola Todd-Morgan?
No, I'm in total state of overwhelm because of my book launch.
You have a book launch. Tell us more, Nicola Todd-Morgan.
I will be in Brighton for 3 days at the Filio conference at the Brighton Exhibition Centre, talking about my book, running workshops about legacy and remembering people who came before us. Actually, it's something that both women and Black writers and well, non-white men basically all suffer from, is getting written out of history. And it's a problem because we need legacy.
We need legacy. So, one more time, what's the book called and where are you going to be?
It's called She Wrote Too, and I'm going to be at the Filio conference in Brighton with 3,000 delegates. So
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What a superb episode. Okay, let's wrap it up there. Yet again, it's Happiness is Easy with me, Dominic Nelson Ashley, and Nicola Todd-Morgan in full effect. As always, all right.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.